Okay, so this is kind of a test. Excuse the redneck backdrop here. It's not duct tape, it's a tarp. The bench behind me is full of junk, and I wanted to make a video, but I didn't want to have all that crap in the background, so sorry about that. For the test video, I'm going to talk about wireless again. A lot of my videos in the past have been about wireless, and that's probably because it's one of the funnest things you can get into. What I wanted to do is talk to you about how wireless security has kind of stayed stagnant and how the attacks have advanced, but nothing in the form of security has. So it used to be back in 2000, 2001 when I first got into wireless, was if you wanted to do something, you had to take a big laptop with you. You had to have an external card and an antenna and a huge backpack. In fact, this is the backpack I used to use to go war driving with. I would walk around town with a laptop in here and an antenna sticking out. This bag has been fantastic, but nothing screams I'm doing something like a bag this big. And unless you're hiking across the country, you don't need a bag this big. So, technology advanced a little bit, and the netbook was born. This made it a lot easier. I could walk around with a smaller bag, or I could just put this underneath my arm because the antenna is inside of it and the wireless card's in it. This one's been pretty good. I've been using this for years. I've used this on tons of wireless calls. I've audited several networks with it. It's a great laptop, small netbook. The only problem with these is that the batteries don't last forever, and the battery in this one died. So I was back to having to carry a power cord with me, and nobody wants to see you walk in somewhere, plug in your computer, and sit down, and you have to sit by an outlet. It's a big pain. So in the last 5 or 6 years or so, people have been trying to figure out how to use their smartphones to do stuff. And certain phones you can. They have a Broadcom chipset in them, and they support, I believe, monitor mode or packet injection, so you can use those. Well, several years ago, Hack5, or Darren Kitchen, came out with a device called the Wi-Fi Pineapple. And that's what this is. This is the Mark V. Now, I held off on buying these because you can do the exact same thing with your computer. All right? This works just as well as this. This is simply a modified router. That's all it is. Okay? They took OpenWRT firmware, they adjusted it, they made it where you had full access to the command line, they put in some extra tools and a different web interface, and that's what you get. A lot of people are buying these, and then they're complaining that they can't perform whatever attack they want. The equipment does not make you a better attacker or a more knowledgeable person. You have to actually know what you're doing. I've been doing this stuff for 15 years, and I still learn new stuff all the time. Every single day I'm seeing a new piece of software or a new method of doing something. WPS is real popular right now because instead of having to crack somebody's password, you can crack an 8-digit key. Alright, well, for the longest time, you had to wait for an access point. If it had rate limiting, you could do so many keys, it would lock you out. And some of these access points, you can set them up to lock you out for like 24 hours. That's a huge pain. You're not going to audit a network in a decent amount of time with that kind of limit. So, somebody found out that you could use MDK3 to flood that router with MAC addresses, connect tons of clients to it. Some of them, go up to 20, 30,000 clients before they'll reboot. But a lot of these routers will reboot. When they come back up, you get to perform your WPS attack again. All this does is it gives you another option of attack. This is not going to make your attacks better. This isn't going to make them faster. The only thing this does is give you another tool to use. The reason I bought this is because I'm a gadget nerd. I love buying this kind of junk and playing with it. I've been driving around with this in my car since I got it. So, what can you do with this that makes it worth buying? Well, the most important thing for me is the dip switches on the side. There's 5 switches. The 3 in the middle are programmable. So you can actually set up commands for what those dip switches do. And I've got mine set up to do a variety of things. One configuration it captures WPA and PA2 handshakes. So I can take that file, bring it back home, put it on my desktop, and I can try to brute force those passwords. Another thing it can do is you can set it to automatically mask deauthenticate all the wireless networks around you. So if you want to be a jerk, you could set it to do that, flip the switches, go down to your local Subway or McDonald's or whatever, and sit there and nobody can get online. Not many people in this town really use the free Wi-Fi that we have around. You'll see one or two people on it, so it's really not worth doing, and like I said, it's a jerk thing to do. Other things you can do is pretty much any command you can put down on the command line, you can set these up to automatically do at boot time. It does one command at a time, and waits for it to complete to do the next one. So like you can do, you can pull the interface down, you can create a monitor mode interface, you can pull that interface down, set a random MAC address, pull it back up, and start, like an air dump program or something. Or you can start a Kismet server and log things as you walk around. I haven't tried plugging in my GPS yet to this. I have a serial to USB adapter. I haven't tried to see if that works yet. I hope it does. If not, it's no big deal. But then that would give me, a new Wi-Fi word driving device. One of the other things about these is that you have the option of connecting to them over Wi-Fi, or you can plug in with Ethernet. So I can hook this into a computer that doesn't even have wireless capabilities, like a Chromebook. It has wireless capabilities, but some of them have an Ethernet port, but they're not going to have like the AirCrack suite already on them. So you can plug this into it, you can log into this with SSH, and then you have full access to all your wireless tools that you would use for an audit or an attack. This is $100, so if I need to leave this at a customer's location, I'd feel less sad if this got broken or stolen than a $200-300 netbook. This is a screen, keyboard, hard drive, everything. This can store a lot of sensitive information. This is limited by how big the SD card is that you put in it. So this isn't going to have, customer information on it or photos or anything like that. This is a disposable device. In most cases, this is going to be disposable. I'm not saying $100 is cheap. I waited a long time before I bought one of these, and I would be very mad if it came up missing. Now, another nice thing about these is it runs off 5, 9, or 12 volt. So I could take a battery pack. And mine actually came with a battery pack, but it was low amperage, or milliamp, so I got a different one. This is a 10,000 milliamp. And I put some Velcro on here because I like Velcro. And I can put them together, plug it in, and there you go, self-contained. I also have, you got to have it outside. You can go with a waterproof ammo box. You put it in there, you can take it on site, set it down somewhere. However, this is going to be ridiculously obvious, unless you're somewhere where geocaching is really popular. This is going to stick out like a sore thumb, no matter where you put it, in the weeds, whatever, inside a building, sitting on a shelf. Somebody's going to see this and want to open it. So think about your packaging before you put those out. Alright, so with this battery, with a 10,000 milliamp, I should be able to run this for 2 to 3 days, maybe a little bit longer on that. The battery it came with it says it'll run for 3 days, and it was 7,800 milliamp. I haven't tried that yet. I've gotten about 2 days work out of it, and that's turning it on and off. So, I don't know. But anyways, I can take this, and I can use my cell phone, my smartphone, to control this device. So now I don't have to buy a Linux cell phone. I don't need an Ubuntu phone or anything like that. I can use any smartphone with a browser or an SSH client, and I can control this device. That's what the Wi-Fi Pineapple does for you. It's not going to make you a better hacker or anything like that. It gives you an extra option. Now this video is running a little bit long, so I'm going to cut it short here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. I don't make videos very often, but I'm going to try to. Thanks for watching.